What if you never had to drag yourself out for another exhausting car test of your mix again? After months of making the best mixes of my career, I found studio monitors from a brand you've probably never heard of. And this brand is doing a few things that honestly put them ahead of a lot of big names. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you why these could be the last set of monitors you'll ever need. So after working in some of Southern California's best studios on Barefoots, ATCs, Amphions, Genelix, Quested, you name it, I realized something crucial. No matter how incredible they sounded, those monitors always felt like I was borrowing someone else's car. Great to drive, but not truly mine. So when it was time to upgrade, I searched through all the big brands and nothing clicked. Then scrolling through some studio pictures from producers I admire, I spotted a speaker design I've never seen before. And it wasn't just the looks, though they looked insane. As I was researching further into them, it felt like they might actually be the ones that I was made to work on. So I hit up my old mentor, Bo, because if anyone would know about these, it'd be him. Not only had he heard of them, but he said that one of the engineers he trusts most had a pair and raved about them. So that was all I needed. I went on their website, I reached out, booked a demo. And several months in, I can honestly say these monitors didn't just upgrade my sound, they reshaped my entire process. They didn't just feel like I got another piece of gear, they felt like I was finally home inside of my studio. So first, let's talk about exactly what I was looking for in studio monitors and why that search led me to Ex Machina Soundworks. My first priority was solving a common issue I noticed with traditional monitors, and it's the separation between the tweeter and the woofer. Here's a simple way to visualize this. Imagine mixing with two flashlights, one for highs and one for lows. They'll both be casting shadows from different angles. That's how traditional monitors are set up. Now, a coaxial design fixes this by combining both beams into one clean, aligned, shadow-free. That clarity is what I love in a studio monitor design. And that's why coaxial design is non-negotiable for me. Now, a coaxial design solved that one big issue for me, but there's one other thing I knew I absolutely did not want: relying on a subwoofer.
Wait, what?
I know. The common advice is usually want better low end, just add a sub. But here's the thing, after helping tune monitor setups in multiple studios, I've grown to just dislike subs intensely. And for the way that I mix, subs often make things muddier, messier, and harder to trust, even in well-treated rooms. The best way to describe this is subs always feel like painting across two canvases, your lows on one and your mids and highs on another. Even in tuned rooms, the crossover point never quite clicked for me. And yes, I've tried it all, sub packs, calibration tools, and every time I just come back to the same conclusion. I just mix better when everything comes from one source. Now, of course, with the right setup, perfect phase alignment, tuning, ideally one sub per monitor, subwoofers can absolutely work well. But for most rooms and most real-world producers, keeping everything in one coherent speaker is simply faster, easier, and way more trustworthy. Now, DSP usually makes me nervous. Most companies use it like makeup to hide the flaws. But Ex Machina Soundworks built an elite analog speaker first, then used DSP to fix what physics alone can't.
We designed these as an analog loudspeaker first to be already what we thought was the highest performance thing you could buy. And then when we brought the digital signal processing in, it was to say, okay, these are physical laws that all things that have motion and momentum must obey. Can we cheat those laws a little bit by using very advanced digital signal processing?
It's like traction control in a race car. It just unlocks elite performance. But there was something else about these monitors that completely blew me away. Something I didn't even realize was possible until I experienced it firsthand. What shocked me the most was the sweet spot didn't vanish when I moved my head. Dev explained they eliminated phase issues across the spectrum so that the mix stays intact even when you're off center.
Is you're not stuck in one spot in terms of where you can center your mono elements, how you can hear stereo motion. It gives you this enormously wide sweet spot to work with, so you can be very close to them, you can be even a little bit off to the side. Maybe you want to reach up and make an EQ decision on a console, and you have to get a little bit closer to the loudspeaker. They're not going to fall apart when you do that. You can still make an accurate decision.
This holographic sweet spot wasn't just a cool technical feature, it genuinely transformed how I move and work. I wasn't stiffly stuck to the center while mixing. I started trusting my instinct and making better decisions faster. And just when I thought these monitors had shown me everything, they flipped the script again. Every Ex Machina Soundworks model sounds identical above 200 Hertz. If you upgrade through their line, you're not just learning a new speaker, you're unlocking more headroom and bass.
And we want this to stay the same across our entire line, like from the babyest ones all the way up to the biggest ones. Like, we're using the same material science, the same approach to the digital signal processing. We wanted to say, like, hey, this is for your application, it's not for a different sonic signature. If you need a little gigging monitor, if you need a little portable reference, that's why you would buy this one. If you need massive mains that can give you huge bass extension, that's why you'd buy the big ones. It's not because, oh, try this flavor, try that flavor.
It's like upgrading your favorite car to a faster model. Same feel, more power. Now, everything I shared so far has been overwhelmingly positive, and I can already sense some skeptics gearing up in the comments. So let's openly address the common objections. Starting with DSP, and I get it. Some people see DSP and immediately think,
that's not pure, that's cheating.
I was skeptical too, remember? But here's how I've come to see DSP in these monitors and why it completely changed my perspective. Saying DSP isn't pure is like saying EQ is cheating because you should have moved the mic. EQ is a tool for precision, and so is DSP, when used respectfully. It's not a crutch, it's not flattering your mix, it's correcting timing, phase, and driver behavior in ways analog can't. Use it when precision matters most, or not at all. The choice is yours. Another common complaint, and honestly a big reason I took so long finding monitors I actually wanted, is that many studio monitors seem designed to flatter more than to reveal. A lot of studio monitors just feel like Instagram filters, warm, soft, and flattering lies. Ex Machina Soundworks give you raw, unfiltered truth, which honestly can just be soul-crushing at first. But once you hear them, you'll realize just how much you were still guessing before. Finally, let's address the elephant in the room. The biggest objection people usually have, and honestly, I completely get, they're not cheap. But neither is wasting years second-guessing your mixes. After using these monitors, using budget monitors is like relying on an old paper map, while the Ex Machina Soundworks studio monitors are like using GPS. One upgrade and suddenly every mix decision becomes faster, clearer, and I become more confident.
But your loudspeakers are your windshield. If they lie to you, you're gonna make bad decisions.
Right.
You're not just buying studio monitors, you're investing in clarity, confidence, and peace of mind. These monitors changed everything for me. But what happens when I'm not in the studio? In this next video, I'll show you the only headphones I trust when I'm mixing on the go and why they might be the best investment you haven't made yet.